Hello YouTube, my name is Kezmaina. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a health and lifestyle channel where we are going to be discussing and learning about different health conditions and lifestyle modifications to accommodate the same. So today we are going to be learning about childhood obesity. If it is your first time here, welcome very much. Kindly subscribe, go back and watch our previous videos, like and share. Thank you very much. So as I said, we're going to be talking about childhood obesity today, and this is a suggestion that came from a colleague and former classmate of mine, and I thought it's something that it was wise to tackle it. So what exactly is childhood obesity? I know you'd like to know. I also would like to know if I was on your side. So yes, childhood obesity is a condition where your child is significantly overweight compared to their age and height. But mostly we use age for kids, but maybe in some situations your doctor will use your child's height. This is something that can be assessed by your doctor or your healthcare provider when you go for your regular medical checkups or treatment for your child. This is something that your doctor will be able to go through and tackle with you. What causes childhood obesity? I know you want to know. I also want to know what causes childhood obesity, and that's why I read through this so that I can tell you what I found out. Also, tell me what I may have left out, or maybe what I didn't find when I was doing my research. Tell me down below. I want to know what I didn't find. So this, as I said, we are both learning here. I'm learning, you're learning, and it's a learning forum. So yes, comment down below whatever you'll find that I didn't tackle here. So causes of childhood obesity, mainly it's lifestyle actually. The first thing is diet. Diet is the first thing that predisposes your child to childhood obesity. High sugar intake. This is use of a lot of sugar in your child's diet, and this doesn't only mean the sugar you put in your tea. It could be sugar from the juice you give your child, ice cream, sweets, cakes. So try and limit the amount of sugar, or the amount of sugar, the amount of these sweet things that you're giving your kids. Try and limit the amount of that for your kid, and that should be a bit helpful for them. The other thing is on the diet still is high fat intake. Oils. This is fast foods. For example, fast foods. Most of the fast foods we know are fried. Honestly, they are machipos, jipitas, nini, zina mafuta mingi. So try and limit that as well, so that you limit the amount of fat that is getting into your child's body. The other thing now away from diet is inactivity, physical inactivity. Physical inactivity it's not exactly about exercise, it's lack of physical activity. This is mostly for people who are used to being in front of the TV, playing video games, or maybe watching the TV asubuhi hadi jioni. So that means that physically yako tu hakuna kitu anafanya through the day, which is again not good for anyone's health. Not just your child's, but anyone. So again, like, do away with physical inactivity kabisa. Wacha mtoto akue active kidogo. Let them burn some calories. Another thing is family predisposition. Yes, there's a thing about family predisposition. This means that you may be coming from a family that generally has big people. I won't call them fat people. I'll call them big people, like watu wako na mwili, which is okay if your child is coming from a family that iko na watu wakubwa. It's normal for them to be, of course, to appear bigger than their age. But then again, we should also try and incorporate lifestyle changes that will help them not get these complications. I'm going to deal about these complications in the next few minutes, I'm going to talk about the complications that may come about from childhood obesity. So yeah, another thing is medication that your child might be on chronically, not medication that your child takes for about 5 days or 7 days. Not that. There are some conditions that need treatment for a long period of time, and if your child is on treatment for a long period of time and you've noticed that they're gaining weight, that may be something that needs your pediatrician's or your doctor's attention. Kindly go back and raise that concern, discuss with him. Him or her, they're going to guide you a little bit more. Another thing is social economic factor. That is, for example, maybe you in your neighborhood there's nowhere you can possibly exercise. Again, what else? Mahali pa exercise. Maybe there's no field where your child can ride a bike or can go running, play with other kids their age or something like that. Also, accessibility to healthy food and also unhealthy food. You could be in a neighborhood where they are chomaing, hapo kuna chipo inachemshwa, next hapo ni mahamri, next ni nyingine sijui, but a lot of things going around, and then there's a shopkeeper there selling really sweet things. Again, that's something that could be predisposing your child to childhood obesity. So yeah, I think that's something that's maybe in our control, yes, because this is something that you'll talk to your child and they'll be able to change their habits and change their view on their take on this whole thing. Yes. So from after the courses, I'm going to deal with the complications that may arise from childhood obesity, and I'm going to start with diabetes. Diabetes ni ugonjwa wa sukari. Layman's language, diabetes ni ugonjwa wa sukari. Sasa, there are two types of diabetes. There is diabetes type 1. This is very common in young children. They tend to acquire it at a very young age for different reasons. The second type, which is the type that I'm talking about right now, is mostly brought about by overweight or obesity. So this is the complication I'm trying to talk about, and for us to avoid getting here, let's help our children live in a bit healthier, healthy way. Another thing, heart conditions, hypertension. Of course, when your child has gained a lot of weight, there's a lot of fat deposits around, even inside the blood vessels, which makes it hard for your heart to pump blood. When that happens, it is forced to use a lot of force, causing your child to possibly have hypertension. Hypertension will predispose your child to other heart conditions, which is something we can avoid if we try and deal with this before it arises. The other thing, respiratory issues, respiratory conditions. For example, asthma. Asthma tends to have an affiliation, or it tends to favor children or people who are overweight. There has not been an exact research that shows exactly why, but I tend to associate it with airway obstruction, because you're kind of umenona. Okay, that's not the right term to use, but I think that's the term that came to my mind. You're fat and your airway may be obstructed by that overweight, so that may be the reason. Fat people or people who are overweight, please forgive me for saying fat people. People who are overweight tend to have asthma more oftenly. Another thing is non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. That's something, well, as from the word itself, it's non-alcoholic. Most of these liver diseases come about in people who are alcoholics. But now this is a child. I'm hoping hajaanza kukunywa pombe, because sidhani mtoto ameanza kunywa pombe, na kama ameanza by the way mkataze, si vizuri. Wacha aanze akishafika 18 akishakuwa adult, but saizi bado. So it comes about when there is fat deposits in your liver, because definitely if you're overweight, there's a lot of fat in your body, there will be deposits everywhere, and it is bound to end up in your liver at some point. So again, that's a complication that may arise. Next, we go to the prevention, diagnosis, treatment. Hizo zinaingia, they're all in the same pool. I'm going to tackle them all together. Prevention, number 1, exercise. And make this something that you do yourself and encourage your child to do it. Don't just tell them. You need to start exercising. They need to see an example from you. They need to have a role model. They need someone whom they can say, Mommy is doing this, Ama Daddy is doing this, and he said we should do it, so I'm going to do it as well. Also discourage inactivity. Exercise and inactivity and discouraging inactivity are two different things. Exercise is where you are actively up and about and maybe running or whatever it is you're doing. Discouraging inactivity is discouraging your time, your child being asikuwe tu amekaa ati anacheza video games, TV. That brings in my next point, limiting TV time. You limit the amount of time your child is going to be watching TV. You can slot in, maybe tengeneza timetable. I don't know. People have different parenting forms, and I will state right here that I'm not a parent, so sijui watu who parent aje, but you have your own style of parenting. So if it's a timetable you have, well and good. If it's something you tell them verbally, well and good, but you need to try and limit the amount of time your child spends on TV. You have to slot in some time for exercise, and also make sure that your child's feeding habits are a bit regular. Kuna time ya kukula, kama ni snacks, kama ni lunch, kama ni nini, si ati anakula anytime. Also, another thing, tend to eat as a family, maybe around the dining table. Family, not dining table per se, but eat as a family, so that you'll be able to monitor food portions for your child. Let it be appropriate. Yeah, appropriate is the word. Let the amount of food your child is taking be appropriate for them. And also always make sure that your child is eating to their fill. Asibaki kama ako na njaa. Yeah, that will tend to discourage snacking ama eating these other things kando. When they are full, they tend to be a little bit more settled than if they eat kidogo during mealtime, and then they'll tend to, after some time, I want to eat cake. Sijui after some time, mom give me sijui nini utaitishwa hapo. Yeah, so eat as a family. That will be able to help you assess. The other thing, sleep. Make sure your child is sleeping enough. Now, what happens when your child doesn't sleep enough? There tends to be hormonal imbalances and fluctuations that may cause your child's appetite to shoot. And if the appetite is shooting, trust me, your child is going to eat a lot. And if your child is eating a lot, what does that translate to? Weight gain. So again, make sure your child is sleeping enough. I'm going to drop down in the comment section. I'll drop down a rough or an approximate of how many hours a child is supposed to sleep. This is going to help you understand if your child is sleeping enough. When a child is young, they sleep more. As they grow, their sleep requirements goes down kidogo, si sana, not significantly, inaenda ikipungua pole 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 pole. So yes, make sure your child is sleeping enough. What's the other thing? Yeah, I think that's it. That about covers treatment and prevention. Now, diagnosis is something that will be done by your healthcare provider. When you go for checkup, they'll check their weight. If they have a question about the weight, they'll check something we call the mid-upper arm circumference. That is going to help them further with your management. If you're underweight or if you're overweight, they'll tell you, and they'll probably refer you to a nutritionist or to the relevant department for treatments. Also, now there's something else on the treatment bit. There's something else that I should have mentioned. Like I said, among my courses, I mentioned that there's some medication that may predispose your child to gain weight significantly and well, it may be unexpected, but abnormally. If that's the case, this is something that you need to take up with your doctor. Do not withdraw any medication without consulting your doctor. If actually medication needs to be withdrawn, it is with the advice of your doctor. Don't do it on your own, from your own or from this vlog. Usichukue hii advice ni kama nimekuambia uachishe mtoto dawa. Don't. Just make sure you get followed up by a doctor. They will advise you when to stop the medication and exactly why. And actually, most of these drugs are not just stopped. It's something that is done gradually. Yes. What else? Yeah, I think we are done with that for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope from this vlog you've learned one or two things about childhood obesity. I hope you can be able to identify when your child is obese. Maybe you cannot, but maybe you can prevent it. I don't know. But if you suspect your child is obese, kindly take them to a health facility. They'll be assessed. You'll be told what to avoid and what to reduce on. But mainly this is what needs to be done. Most of these children, because it's still early, you can incorporate these changes and it will help a great deal. Yeah. So thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time. Kindly watch our previous videos too. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Thank you.